Every day in the USA, people find themselves in court.
Mr. Barnick, why don't you come up and have a seat? You were the first one here. We'll take your case first.
You sit here, Dan?
No, right over here. We've got three, I'll call them difficult, probation violation arraignments this morning. Probation agent Daniel Frazine is here, and each of these are his cases. The first one is People versus Gerald Barnick. File number is 241114. Mr. Barnick was placed on probation last August for an incident that occurred in Three Rivers last summer on a charge of domestic violence. He was under probation terms that included a number of things, but the petition alleges that you failed to comply with your probation by failing to abstain from the use of alcohol or other intoxicants, failing to participate in treatment as directed, and failing to test as directed. Part of the component of this was the domestic violence class, which the defendant has failed to complete. Mr. Barnick, Mr. Frazine is recommending a substantial amount of jail time for your fail to comply with this probation. You have a right to have a hearing on this, where it must be established at least beyond a preponderance that you violated the terms of your probation, and you have a right to have an attorney. My recommendation is that we get an attorney to assist you with this because there's a high likelihood that you're going to go to jail. Is that agreeable with you?
Yes, sir. Can I speak about this now or not?
Well, you can. I may cut you off because I don't want you to say anything that might compromise your rights. But go ahead.
Okay, number one, I'll go right down here, just 3 items. Two, the very first one is I no longer drink alcohol. And it says failing to abstain from the use of intoxicants. I had to look that word up in the dictionary to figure out what that actually meant as far as what it was I was supposed to be drinking. I no longer drink beer anymore.
Well, okay.
It was actually failure to test because I called when he didn't respond or test.
All right.
I never got a phone call from anybody asking me to.
All right. Well, let me stop you for a minute. So when did you stop drinking?
Sometime in September. Last September.
That's a plus because you were burning the candle at both ends. All right. So there was also failed to test, then failed to participate in treatment.
Okay.
So
yeah, I have what is meant by the treatment? Is that
the domestic violence treatment class?
Okay, that's the one with the cell phone. I had to go out and buy a cell phone, which I can't even operate yet, as far as that goes. And I would like to request that if I could get another class without a cell phone, I would go to domestic assault class if I had to.
A live class?
Yes, if that's possible. I would greatly appreciate that.
Well, I'm glad to hear that you stopped drinking. I hadn't heard anything really since this, although I knew that we kept trying to do this DV class, and weaponized ignorance is not a defense, but you certainly could use it. But at this point, I'll show you plead not guilty, appoint an attorney. Are you still on North Main?
Yes, sir.
Is the complainant still there?
Yes.
Did she stop drinking?
No, she's trying, but things have gotten a whole lot better.
All right.
A whole lot better. And the failing to test as directed. No one has asked me ever to take any type of test since this thing started. Nobody. No, I figured someone was going to come to my duplex and knock on my door and say, "Hey, I got a test here for you." I'd have done 6 or 7 if that's what I had to do.
All right. I'm not sure where that is in here.
It's on December 12th, 2024, when I called him up to the voicemail.
Call left a voicemail for the defendant to test by noon today at the day reporting center. Did not show and did not call. Yeah, at some point you just threw up your hands and quit going to the group. So.
And I didn't have a strong concern, but obviously on the probation, we're gonna test randomly, and that's really what this was. The main thing was the group was the real issue. We spent a lot of hours working with him.
I agree. Well, and it's too bad maybe there is a live one somewhere. All right, we'll set a PV hearing and appoint an attorney. The original attorney was Mr. Gibson. I don't know if he'll be reappointed or someone else. We'll set a hearing and then perhaps see if there's another option for the treatment class. You have to have it to get the deferral.
Yeah, that's,
All right, we'll take him out. We'll get a lawyer for him and we'll have a hearing.
And then Gerald, just go downstairs and wait. I'll be down there in a minute.
Yeah, maybe we'll do a PBT or something.
just outside your office, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Thank you.
All right, thank you.
Yes, sir. Come with me.
Cassandra Gilbert.
That is Mr. Huffs.
All right, well then let's do Ms. Bennett.
This one, we're going to have us do the other one. Okay. Since they accept you right now.
Ms. Gilbert. Oh, Ms. Bennett, come up. We'll do that one.
Thank you.
This is file 231086 FY, Karen Bennett. This started out as several felonies and was reduced to a operating while intoxicated second and a resisting and obstructing misdemeanor attempt. Ms. Bennett pled guilty to those charges, was sentenced in July of 2023. So we're a year and a half into this probation. It's had lots of issues. Once again, Mr. Frazine has filed a petition alleging that defendant failed to report on a monthly basis, failed to pay fee as directed, failed to abstain from the use of alcohol.
Again, a testing issue here.
The testing issue. But eventually, she just quit. Same thing. She sort of threw up her hands and just quit reporting.
Well, Your Honor, I'll update the court on that. The main thing here is, I don't think a probation is really accomplishing because I can't test her. She's on the Vivitrol shot. She can test for covered bridges to get the Vivitrol shot, but she can't test for us. So I'm not sure what's going on there, but we never did resolve that at the last PV. But the good news is, I called her case manager. She has a case manager, a therapist, and a peer support. She has been regular for several months with them, doing well. Her case manager said that she doesn't have any concerns with her. She thinks she's over the hump. She's made all of her appointments. They only had to reschedule one in the last, I think, 8 months. So that is the huge thing, because that's, treatment is a big portion of this, but I have no way of verifying whether she's drinking or not. So that doesn't do a whole lot for a probation, because, it's a big component of this. Also, if she's indigent, you can't really fault her for that, but she hasn't paid any money since April of last year. So that's really what this is about. I think the probation at this point is just a waste. If she's going to do treatment, she's doing it.
All right.
So
Ms. Bennett, what's your position?
Your Honor, I have been sick for a year.
Yes.
I mean, you kind of might notice something going on
Yes.
here with my hair. I have been like on my deathbed. I thought I was gonna die, and I figured if I was gonna die, I didn't need to worry about it. But I was sleeping and I forgot to call Dan. I did that, but I've been in my house for a year. My sisters had to bring me food. I can't even go out of the house. I'm so sick. That's all I can do to get here. And my friend who's a nurse is outside and she's going to take me to the hospital as soon as I leave here.
I agree, Daniel. We've taken this about as far as we could take it.
I'm sorry.
and the
Well, that's
sanctions,
right.
I just got the sanction of the court. I really don't
I'm just
I think
gonna,
we need one.
I'm just gonna discharge her from probation.
Well,
You've been in treatment for the last
yes,
year.
sir. Yes, sir.
Now, you and I butted heads about what you were gonna do, whether it was gonna be Hope House or something else. but
Well,
you-
we tried that, but all I want to do is give back, sir. You know, my AA people are the best friends I've ever had in my life.
Which AA are you in?
Sturgis,
Which one?
Methodist Church. I think that's like basically the only one they have kind of much.
Oh,
now.
there's St. John's and there's.
St. John's.
Well, yeah, but they have like one.
But anyway, yeah,
I know them all. It doesn't matter. No.
I'm gonna get off your back.
No, that's fine, sir. That's fine. You know, I appreciate what you've done for me because you really saved my life. You know,
Well,
you
you
know,
were
I'm not
in-
gonna lie.
You were in a rough shape. I will.
Yes,
grant
I
you
was,
that.
sir. Well, I'm in rough shape now because think I'm like dying.
Well, we're all
I'm in-
dying. I hope
No,
some
I
of us
mean
are more
seriously.
slowly than others. But
Seriously.
I know you are. I can tell by just looking at it.
I
You're,
know.
All right.
And you're doing zeroing out the fines at
Mhm.
this point? Okay.
Well, I do have paperwork, you know, I do. I mean, I am on Medicare and Medicaid.
I'm gonna discharge you. I'm gonna discharge your fines. I'm gonna get off your back.
Thank you, sir. Thank you so much. I appreciate that so much.
Thank you, Your Honor.
All right, Miss Bennett.
All right, get the heck out.
No, you're all right. You can stay if you want, but
Oh, no,
you're-
I think I'll pass
you're-
on
you're
that. My
also
girlfriend's out
much
there. But no, I mean, I am
nicer.
trying so hard, sir.
I believe you.
I
believe
am.
you.
And I think you have as well. Good luck to you.
Thank you, Dan. You know, I'm trying so hard, Dan, and thank you for being a great guy.
Is Matt back?
Well, I
No,
know.
he's out sick still.
All right, thank you.
I know you have, but no.
Why don't you come have a seat? Good morning. You're Cassandra Gilbert,
Yeah.
and we've met. We got a PV case and another case we need to deal with. In file 231968, your probation agent, Matt Huff, is alleged that you failed to report on your child abuse charge and you failed to cooperate with Children's Protective Services as a part of your probation. This was just a very, very bad set of facts. Your daughter was alleged to have been sexually abused or being sexually abused by a man who you continue to allow to have access to the children, even while on this probation. I'm not sure where Children's Protective Services was. We had a preliminary examination.
But see, that's the thing, even Matt, that's why I wish he was here, because he even called when I first got out of this courtroom. I went and did exactly what I was supposed to do. I contacted the CPS worker that I had, or that was before I went to jail, that was on the thing. She wouldn't call me back, text me, nothing.
Yeah, so Children's Protective Services does not come off looking well in this case at all.
And like, they took my kids, and you know what? They asked for Amy 3 times to show up, and she still hasn't showed up to 3 of hers.
Well, then there's another issue. You're charged with truancy.
Yeah, and that's why I wish he was here
We'll
too,
get to that one here in just a minute.
because I was contacting him every time. He asked me, have you had any police contact? I say, well, just dealing with my son not wanting to go to school. Like, that was one thing he said that, yeah, I will admit that you were telling me. I even called the cops and had them come get him, because he broke out my windows. And the
Yeah.
cop said, oh, we don't do that anymore.
Well, I'll show you a plea of not guilty and appoint an attorney and set a PV arraignment. That's recommendation. I wish he was here too. We got people sick all over the place.
Yeah, I just had COVID.
I
like-
had my little bout. We have 4 employees out sick right now.
Yeah, I had COVID like a couple weeks ago.
Yeah, that's been out there.
But then when I called to like find out why Amy, like see if maybe the intake could get a hold of her, they said I didn't have an open case
I don't know.
until this year, this last year in August. First time I heard from him.
Well, he's recommending 82 days in jail. And so I'm gonna get an attorney and set a PV hearing. Now, in the next case, there's a warrant out for your arrest.
Yeah, I have the thing, but he told me to come in here first
Yeah, we'll
before I
take care
paid
of it.
it, so that's what I was doing. The guy out there.
In that case, it is file number 242170. It alleges that in November and continuing, your son, who is between 6 and 18, has failed to go to school. At the time the petition was filed in November,
Yeah, I've had it bad with my 14-year-old and my 11-year-old. I even talked to the community mental health about them.
well,
Right.
they'd missed one already for the new school year.
But they were living with their dad.
Well, we're gonna get an attorney. They'd missed 24 of 54 school days.
And that's what I don't understand, because the school even told me,
Well, what school are they in?
White Pigeon, they told me, like, when the kids came back with me, they were like, yeah, that's where they need to be because their dad's not sending them to school.
Where is he?
He just wouldn't wake up.
Well, what town does he live in?
White Pigeon. He just wouldn't wake up. You know how many times I got into it with him? Like when I was in jail, for
All right, well, don't
instance?
say any more about it. Obviously, your dysfunction is visiting the dysfunction on the kids. Every other kid gets up and goes to school. Your kids are just falling farther and farther behind. Is he in school now?
Yeah, he goes, when he's not with his dad, like,
All right. Well, this used to carry a 2-day minimum jail sentence. I don't believe it does anymore. It is a misdemeanor,
I was contacting,
punishable by no more than 90 days and not less than a $5 fine. That's still in there. And a not more than a $50 fine. It's a screwy, old statute. There's not another crime on the books that carries a $5 minimum fine. But maybe 100 years ago, that was a sanction.
but I had my windows broke out and everything, trying to get my son to school.
All right, I'm gonna show a plea of not guilty.
And it's like my other two, my youngest two, my daughter and my youngest son, they have no problem. But my 14-year-old and my 11-year-old, nope, they will fight you to hammer nail. Bust windows, tap teachers.
All right, well, obviously, like I said, the dysfunction in your family is visited on the kids. Attorney pretrial for February 7th. At 8:30, bond is $500 PR. And to recall the warrant, you're gonna need to get fingerprinted.
Okay.
All right, so we're gonna get an attorney for you on the probation violation. Your PO is recommending 82 days in jail. Your family is so fractured.
And it doesn't help, like, I just lost my mom, like, not too long ago.
Who is your
So
mom?
it just seems like it's
Who
gotten
is your
worse.
mom?
Well, she's the one who raised me, but it's actually my aunt, my blood aunt, but she raised me. Rebecca Baldwin Jones.
All right, then for whatever reason, they dismissed the criminal sexual conduct charge on Mr. Shook last year during Mr.
Yeah, I
Marvin's.
got the paper on that.
Um,
It was, I guess, according to them, they said Kara wasn't cooperating or something like that.
well, I took some testimony from a nurse that certainly substantiated that there was sexual penetration, but I wasn't part of the decision to dismiss it.
Yeah, because I was wondering the same thing, but all I got was it got dismissed, and I'm like, what the heck?
Um,
Matt said, I don't know. I was like, well,
All right, you're gonna get fingerprinted, you're gonna get an attorney on the probation violation. And we're gonna have a pretrial on the truancy violation.
okay. Would it be, who would it be yet?
I don't,
Okay, because Matt told me it would probably be, Lori Hines again.
probably yes. Let's see.
But like I never missed a call or anything. I always called and everything. I've been waiting for a drug test. They still haven't called me for one of
Well, if
them.
Matt were here, I would send you down to see him, but he's also sick, so you
Yeah.
go with a court officer.
You want me to take that one too, sir?
Yes, please. Thank you.